Hi everyone, this is Mr. RB. I'm going to show you how to draw the letter U and use one-point perspective to make the letter seem three-dimensional. Here's how we do it. I'm going to start by creating a horizon line going across the top of my page. The horizon line will go side to side horizontally and separate the sky above from the ground below. Anything above we're looking up at, and we might see the bottom of it, such as the bottom of a plane flying overhead. Anything below, and we'll tend to see the top of it, for instance, the top of a box sitting on the floor. I also need to add a vanishing point, and I only need one for today because it is one-point perspective. It needs to be on this line, anywhere at all will do, and I'm choosing to put it all the way over to the left for today. Next, I need to draw my U. Well, I'm going to start with a regular line U. I'm going to add a little line going in horizontally from each of the legs and complete it with a smaller U. There, a very basic U. I'm keeping my letter forms kind of straightforward today because I want to make it easier to see what's going on with the perspective drawing. Well, we have a couple corners, and I'm going to start with the clear corners first because I think they're easier. I'm going to put my pencil on the vanishing point, my ruler on the pencil, pivot my ruler till I touch one of those corners. Notice corner, 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 corner. 4 in all. All right, we're going to go over to the first one and connect to the vanishing point. I'm now going to draw another line, pencil on vanishing point, ruler on pencil, only this time going to the right-hand corner of that leg. There you go. I now need to figure out how far back I want the roof of this going. Think of this as the roof of the letter U. And that's totally up to me. I don't want mine going back too far today, so I'm just going to place my ruler on that line of the top of the leg of the U and slide up, up, up just a little bit towards that vanishing point. I'm just sliding straight up, keeping it horizontal, and drawing across a second horizontal line. So I have horizontal line, horizontal line. Vanishing point line, vanishing point line. Notice top and bottom stay horizontal. Left side and right side both point towards the vanishing point. That's important. That's part of how we're getting this illusion. I no longer need most of those vanishing lines, so here comes my eraser. I'm going to get rid of that a bit. I'm going to repeat that over here. So again, I want to connect this corner and this corner both to the same dot, sort of like a triangle. Pivot till it touches both dots and connect. Pivot till it touches both dots and connect. Again, I have a horizontal line on the front at this leg, so I need a horizontal line at the back. I want mine to be even with the first leg today, so I'm just going to place this here, slide up until I get to my first line over here that I had, and I'm just going to repeat that line over here because I want them to line up. Oop, I didn't go quite far enough. That looks a little better. I'm going to get rid of the extra vanishing point line because I only needed those two little segments. There's actually a special name for these. I believe they're called orthogonals. How's that for a great word? I also learned them as just vanishing lines. As long as you can use them, you'll be in a good place. Having the right names helps when you want to talk to someone else about what they're doing or what you're doing or what your ideas are. Sometimes having that common language really helps. All right, now notice how this line has no corner. It has a curve. In order to get that, my way of doing this is as follows. I'm going to measure that original, this little side here, to see how deep I went, how far I went. And I'm going to say it's about 1/2 inch. I'm going to make a series of 1/2 inch long lines coming out from here and all pointing to the same vanishing point. Here's how that works. I'm going to put my pencil on the vanishing point, ruler on the pencil, and I want to touch the tip of my pencil to the U, and I'm just going to come up about 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to repeat farther in along, and I'm going to repeat. Notice my my ruler's corner is right on that line of the U. I'm going to keep going up. This will give me a guideline or some guidance when I want to go draw that curve, to know just where it starts to curve out and where. Oops, I think this was longer. I think I need to make all of those just a little longer. So I'm going to add just a little bit, just add a tail on, because that was too short. Now, see these ends? I'm going to treat them like dots and play a game of connect the dots. I have one more spot to do that in, and that's on the inside of this leg. Same business. It comes down and curves around. There's no clear corner here. So I'm going to use my lines, and again, last time it seemed like it was a little more than, yeah, you know what it is. It's a little more than 1/2 inch. I don't really need to know how long it is. I could mark it out on a piece of, say, cardboard if I was using a strip of cardboard for my straight edge. As long as I keep them pretty consistent in length, I'll be okay. And of course, I have to make sure that I always point towards the vanishing point. And that I always get the full distance, starting right at the edge and going towards the vanishing point. That full just over 1/2 inch in my case. Yours could be very different. You might be working on a much larger letter, or you may have made yours much deeper, or you could be working on a teeny tiny under the microscope sized letter. The rules stay the same, even though the specific distances change for each drawing. Notice that as I curve around here, the ends of my line are getting closer and closer to the other leg. At some point they will disappear there and I won't have room for that full. And I think I'm there now. I really don't have room for that full just over a 1/2 inch. And that's okay, because look what happens when I connect these dots. I come down and along and along and along and along, and yeah, and then back up a bit, and that's just what it should do. I think I want to get this evened out a bit. I'm allowed. Or I could decide I like that sort of, just a little, it adds some character to my letter. That's up to the artist. Now, I'm thinking that the sun is up in the sky, shining down ever so brightly today, and that will make the tops, I think of them as the roofs, bright white. I can't make them any whiter than the white page, but what I can do is add some tone to where I want the letter darker. So I'm going to make the sides definitely darker. I'm going to think that the sun's coming from here, so it would hit here for sure and here for sure, but this would be pretty dark and shadowy over there. The darker I make my shadows, the brighter the light will seem. If I want to draw a misty gray sort of day, then just, keep those dark darks and light lights to a minimum. But if I want to feel like it's a bright sunny day or a brightly lit room, then I need to add some strong darks. Again, I can't add stronger whites. The paper is already about as white as it's going to get. If I were working on gray paper, that would be a different matter. I could draw in some darks, draw in some lights, and that could be pretty fun too. I'm going to add a little tone over here. This part goes pretty straight down, and I think it needs to be fairly dark. We're inventing what's happening here. If I was drawing from observation, say I was outside drawing some buildings across the street or something, I could look and go, are they light or are they dark? And I could use my knowledge of perspective and light and shadow to help me figure out what I really was seeing and what it probably should look like on the paper to capture that. In this case, these are sort of idealized situations. This you doesn't actually exist, at least not yet. So I'm just imagining, based on the rules of perspective, where the shadow should go. And there's some nice dark tone. And I left this a little lighter down here, figuring that the light would come down and hit this surface more than it does over here. I do want to clean this up just a little. Oh, I lose a bit of a line, not a problem. I will simply restate that. Of course, I overstated it, so I'll get rid of that little tail. Once I'm reasonably happy with my drawing, I'm going to add one last thing for keeping this illusion strong. I want to add a little bit of shadow on the ground. There are ways to use perspective to figure out exactly what the direction and length of the shadow would be, and to help with getting the shape of the shadow accurate. And if you're wondering about shapes of shadows, what do you mean? When did shadows get shapes? Think of yourself outside on the street, say on a strong sunny day, and looking at your shadow going out before you on the sidewalk or road. And it's a very different shape than, say, the shadow of a car driving by or a chair sitting out on someone's yard. Ooh. All right, I made sort of a little half oval shadow. Let's see, how does that look? I can easily, because I use the side of my pencil, not the point, not the point, but the side. It's easy to smear and easy to erase a bit. I'm making sort of a U-shaped shadow. I don't know. We'll just let it go for now. Anyhow, let's soften that just a little bit. That's some chips and drawing the letter U to make it look three-dimensional with our one-point perspective strategies. I hope you have fun, try it out. Feel free to combine your U with other letters in the series and start making words and putting your thoughts and feelings out there in the world for fun and conversation. Talk to you real soon. Bye, everybody.